strike. Very recently, we completed very successfully our wage revision settlement. So people may think after the settlement also why bank employees are fighting. So we owe an explanation, because when we go on strike, the banks will not work, the customers will be affected. So naturally, we have a duty to explain the demands of our strike to the people, and people must understand our demands. And not only they understand, they must also support, because what we are fighting for today is in the overall interest of the country and the people. So it is not bank employees' demand. It is the demand, it's a patriotic demand of the people at large. And so that is why this struggle is very important from every point of view. You know, this government is also talking of Indian value, Indian tradition, Indian culture, all these things. And you know, in Indian culture, Indian tradition, Indian value system, the mother is very important. And for the mother, the child or the children are very special. In the mother's relationship with the society, with the relatives, with husband, with parents, you may compare. The mother's affinity, affection, love, attention toward the child or the children is the predominant, you can say. She gives the top priority to the children, to protect the children, to save the children, to ensure that the children come up well. This is what we have seen in mythology, we have seen in our religion, we have seen in our society all these years. And today we are finding a modern mother in the government of India. Government is the mother, Mother India, we say. Similarly, the government is also like the parent. But today, very unfortunately, very strangely, we find it's an irony that the mother is abandoning the child. The mother is not caring about the child. Mother does not want the child. In fact, the mother, to say crudely, is selling the child. When I say mother, I said the government. And who are the children? The public sector undertakings are the children of the government. Because there is a history in our country that after independence, India could not progress as we wanted, as was envisioned in the 5-year plans. The private sector did not come forward. So out of that necessity and compulsion, the government decided at that time, Industrial Policy Resolution 1954, more emphasis on public sector. Indian economy is a mixed economy. Public will be there, private will be there. But more priority, more importance to public sector. And that is why spending people's money, taxpayers' money, public money, huge public sector infrastructure has been built up in our years in the last 6-7 decades. So it is the people's property. It is the asset of the people. So it is for all of us to preserve the asset, and it is prime duty of the government as the parent, as the mother. But today we are finding one by one the government wants to abandon the public sector. They are willing to sell the public sector. In the budget we have seen, and now recently even the Prime Minister, our honorable respected Prime Minister, also says that what is this public sector? Private sector is also capable, they are more efficient, and they can do like this. So this is the irony. And that is why our agitation is that we are demanding that the mother should take care of the child. We are talking of the public sector banks, that it should not be privatized. What is the origin of the public sector banks? All of us know in our country, banks were for 100 years. Banks are all in private hands. Even at the time of independence, 1947, all banks were only private banks. So it was only in 1955, Imperial Bank, out of compulsion at that time, widespread poverty, rural no development, there was a lot of problems. Even then government, political party was losing in different states their governments. So ultimately, Imperial Bank became public sector state bank, and mainly in 1969, the major banks, private banks were nationalized, and that is why there is a predominant public sector banking in our country. That is to ensure more development. Number two, the banks are dealing with public money, people's money. People save the money, and India's saving is very unique, very important. So people save money, and they keep the money in the banks. And the private banks, there are no guarantee for the safety of the people's money. Hundreds of private sector bank collapsed, and again we are proud in the All India Bank Employees Association in Bengal, in Kerala, there were so many bank failures, and there was big agitation. And fortunately, at that time, our great leader of the All India Bank Employees Association, Comrade Prabhatkar, was a member of the parliament at that time, and he took up the matter, and ultimately some major amendments are made to the Banking Regulation Act. So the people's money was saved. So safety of the people's money, then also ensuring growth and development with banking activity. These are all very important. That is why public sector banking came, and we have seen from 69 to now, 50 years or over 52nd day we are there. What a phenomenal! In the entire world, you can proudly say there was no such expansion of banking, so visible, so phenomenal expansion of banks as in India. From 8,000 branches to 1,30,000 branches, from 8,000 crores of deposits to today 146 lakhs crores of people's money in the banks, with just 3,500 crores of loans. Today we have nearly 130 lakh crores of loans by the banks, priority sector loans for agriculture, employment generation, poverty reduction, rural development, education, health, infrastructure, women. All neglected sector have become the priority sector now. So this is the wonderful contribution. You talk of white revolution, green revolution, all because of public sector. Today, very nakedly, very openly, the budget, the finance minister, honorable finance minister has said that to begin with, 2 public sector banks will be privatized. So we are opposed to that. So this is very important. Number one, we would like to clarify, because a lot of people are asking that you are opposing this policy because this policy is pronounced by the present ruling government, the BJP government, NDA government. Because you are opposed to them, so you are opposing. It is not true. It is true that this issue is a political issue. Bank privatization or bank nationalization, they are definitely political issues in a country. If you want left-oriented, people-oriented politics, then public sector will come. If you want the private sector, corporate to come, then private banking. So it is naturally politics, we understand. But is it that because of the present BJP government that we are opposing? At least this must be clear to all of us. Right from the beginning, in 1954, the great architect of India, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, he was the Prime Minister. In 1954, the AIA gave the call against Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. Everybody said, no, why are you politically fighting him? But the AIA fought on an issue. So it is not today that we are fighting the government. Every successive prime ministers, whenever they have done something against banking, against banks, against bank employee, we have fought. Lal Bahadur Shastri, we have fought. Gulzarila Nanda, we have fought. Indira Gandhi Madam, we have fought. Rajiv Gandhi, we have fought. VP Singh, we have fought. Deva Gowda, we have fought. Vajpayee, we have fought. Now we are fighting Narendra Modi ji. So there is nothing special today that we are something politically, we are partisan, that we don't like this party, and so we are fighting. It is not so. Any political party, any government that is opposing the interest of the people and the bank employees, we will fight. If this government also, see now, for example, This government has cleared the wage erosion for bank employees. We have openly thanked them. We have welcomed them. So if they do something good, it's okay. If they do something bad, we'll oppose. So it's it. So it is nothing. Today only that we are talking of these political things. We have been against the political issues right from the beginning. In 1979, there was a very big political issue. The government said that we don't want the same DA formula to come. They brought Morarji Desai. He said, I want Budal Income Committee DA. So it was a political decision. ABF fought in a very bitter way, and we gave a call for indefinite strike. So at that time, we opposed Morarji Desai. We opposed the social control bill. We went against even the Supreme Court, all those things. Ultimately, Morarji Desai went out, and Indira Gandhi emerged. Banks were nationalized. We know that. Similarly, in 1990, at that time, in the name of reforms, Narasimha Rao, Manmohan Singh government, they wanted to, dilute the government's equity capital in the banks from 100 to 51. We fought against it. So it was not a BJP government at that time. We have fought it. Similarly, 1996, at the time also, the Congress government was there. They wanted to bring local area private banks. There was a very big agitation at that time by all the unions put together. That was also a political issue. Government said there must be more private bank in the local areas. So we fought it. Similarly, in 1999, at that time, another veteran prime minister, Sri Vajpayee ji, he was the prime minister. He brought a bill that the government capital in the banks will come to 33, private capital will be 67. That means privatization of all banks. That also we fought in 99, 2000, and the bill was defeated. Then after that, this UPA government came. In UPA government, the left was also there. Even then, this government said, no, we want to close down thousands of unviable rural branches. So rural banking is a political issue. The government said, no, rural banking is not viable. We want to close down branches. Again, we fought against the same UPA government at that time. So whatever may be the color and shade of the government, that was not important. If it was not in the interest of the banks or the people or the economy or the bank employees, we have fought. Now also that is why we know it's a political issue, and still we are convinced that the issue has to be fought. What is the issue? The government says that I want to privatize the banks. Number one, we have to recall the glorious contributions of public sector banks. Number one, the safety for people's money. Today, 146 lakhs crores of people money, that is the total deposits in the banking system. It's a huge money. And in a developing country like India, the saving is a social capital. So we need to protect and preserve the social capital. So to protect the social capital, the deposit, we need to guarantee that banks are taken care. Because private banks, we know. Why very recently, only a few months ago, the government ordered embargo, moratorium on Lakshmi Vilas Bank. There was a crisis in the Yes Bank. I am talking of the recent period. I am not going to the past, where dozens of private banks have collapsed. It was about to be closed down, and people were to lose their money. Even now, in this Punjab Maharashtra Cooperative Bank, people are not able to withdraw their full money. So private sector was always a risk. And even today, we find in the new generation private banks particularly, a lot of things are coming out. Yes Bank is a recent example. They were glorifying the Yes Bank, but it got into problem. You know why? Because they were overstretching their loan portfolio. Because they want to earn more profit. So profit is not bad, but profit at what cost? So that risk of the jeopardy for the savings of the people, even today it is there if the private sector is going to handle banks. So naturally we are opposed to that. Similarly, banks have an important role to contribute to national broad-based economic development. India is not a developed country like America, Japan, Germany, England. We are a developing nation. Even today, our economy is developing. Even today, agriculture is backward. In education, we are backward. In infrastructure, we are backward. In rural area, we are backward. Women are not fully economically empowered. Education, health. So we need even now social banking, private sector lending. That will be done only by public sector banks. And that's what they have been doing. Even this government, it says Jan Dhan Yojana, it's a pet scheme of this government, especially our Prime Minister, that everybody must have a banking account. That is what we have been saying from the All India Bank Employees Association, that banking must be open to all. Banking must become a fundamental right. Today, banking service is at the mercy of the banks, not at the demand of the public or the customer. If bank is interested, they will take your deposit. If bank is interested, they will give you a loan. If bank is interested, they will give you a service. You can't demand. So that is our demand, that banking must go to the people much more. Even after 50 years of public sector, unbanked areas are there. So government, when they said Jan Dhan Yojana, we heartily welcomed it. But today, in the last 5 years, what we have seen, 42 crores of accounts have been opened under Jan Dhan Yojana scheme. But who has opened? Is it the so-called efficient private banks or the public sector bank? 42 crores of new accounts under Jan Dhan Yojana scheme have been opened by public sector banks. But the same private banks are there. They open hardly 1.5 crores of accounts. So this is where we need to understand what the public sector banks are doing. Rural branches. Mahatma Gandhi said India lives in the villages. So naturally banking also has to be rural oriented, village oriented. But whether all these private sector banks, new private sector banks, do they have branches in the rural area? Only public sector banks are there. We are backward in education. Who is giving education loan? Only government banks are giving. Who is giving agriculture loan? We are only giving agriculture loan from the government banks, public sector banks. So you say any socially oriented responsibility, economic responsibility, it is only the public sector banks. So to guarantee people's money, we need public sector banks. To expand the economy and its growth, we need the public sector banks. At this time, the government is talking of privatization. On the one hand, their policy is Atmanirbhar Bharat, self-reliant, self-sufficient India. We fully support it. India must stand on its own leg because 75 years are nearing. So we must be a strong country. Only when we are strong, we can lead the world. So naturally for that, how to become more vibrant, how to become more self-reliant, how to become more self-sufficient, how to become more self-adequate, only by strengthening public sector in particular and also broadly, public sector banking and public sector. But today in the government is budget, they are targeting the public sector. Openly the government says that private sector people are the wealth creators. Yes, they create wealth, but the wealth is pocketed by them. With all respect, we know Ambani is a very rich man. But the statistical information says for every 1 hour, Ambani is earning another 90 crores. So how does it help India? India must earn and Indians must earn. But today only few people. That is why the economic disparity is widening. So we are worried. So naturally, public sector banking is very, very important. And government must strengthen. And another one, there is an argument. So this is also again very strange. If you are a strong bank, if you are a profit-making bank, I will privatize you. If you are a weak bank, if you are a sick bank, then also I will privatize you. So what do we government banks will do? To earn profit or not earn profit? If you earn profit, you are in risk. If you do not earn profit, you are in risk. But the point is, the allegation that public sector banks are not efficient, is it true? Because when we say public sector must be efficient also. It is not a socialist, sticker that there must be public sector. It's an ideological issue. It is not dogmatic. We should be very pragmatic, very practical. We need public sector, but public sector also must be efficient and it must be helping the people. And that's what we have done. You talk to any average Indian, all of them will vouchsafe that they prefer public sector banks than private sector banks. Private sector banks are for the affluent people, rich people, big people, corporate people. So we have a different role. So for that purpose we need. Similarly, the government is also trying to say, no, these banks are earning loss. Is it true? You take the last 10 years from 2009, 10 to now, consistently the banks have been earning profit. In the last 10 years, 15 lakh crores have been the total operating profit. That means on an average, 1,50,000 crores of profit have been earned by the government bank, public sector banks. The operating profit is the real, earning capacity of the bank. But some banks are in net loss. They are in operating profit, but net loss. Why? Because after earning the operating profit, the banks are required to provide for the bad loans. And bad loans are increasing in our country. Bad loans are inevitable. After 100 loans, 1, 2, 3 loans will go bad. It become banking is a business. But today we are finding the bulging bad loans. And who are the main contributors of bank loans? It is only the corporate people, the business people, the big people. They deliberately take huge loans and they don't repay. And deliberately they don't repay. Some of them are running away. Some of them already gone out. They are hiding. The government is not able to do anything. They are fighting the matter in the court. So it is only out of the entire bad loan, 97% of the bad loans are contributed by private sector. Only 3%. Very small, some public sector undertakings have taken loan, for example, Indo-Film. Now, Indo-Film is totally out of date because today the whole technology has changed. So that is a SIG company. Like that, very, very rare. Similarly, there are some bad loans in agriculture, NPS. It is bound to be because Indian agriculture still depends on rain, on subsidy, on many other factors, external factors. So they are in crisis. That's why the government needs to look at them and then give them more and more waiver, write-off, etc. We welcome that. But the bulk of the problem in the bad loan is only the corporate going to benefit. They are only telling that privatization is going to be more efficient. But this Lakshmi Vilas Bank, Yes Bank, it is just very recent example. What about their efficiency? Then why they were in trouble? If private sector is efficient, then why all bad loans are contributed by the private sector? So from every angle you find that privatization is not a solution. Strengthening public sector is the solution. Strengthening the public sector banks in the long-term interest of the country is important. And that is why we are fighting. It is not just the demand of the employees. It's a patriotic demand that we have taken up in the larger interest of the country and the people. And today we are finding young employees. And today we are finding it is the government whole philosophy is different. The politics is different, the society is different, even social composition of the employees are different. When we say we want to fight, nobody disagrees. All political parties are supporting, all trade unions are supporting, all people are supporting. When we fight, it's very, very important to involve the young employees. Today, about 60-70% of the bank employees are young people. Their interest, their future, their job security is much more important. The senior people, we have seen the best of the days. We have seen the benefit of the growth of public sector in the last 50 years. We have got the fruit of that. But today, our young comrades, young employees, young officers, with all great expectations and dream, They have come to the banks, government banks. If today the banks are privatized, what about their future? So we need to involve them. And I am so encouraged that these young employees are wonderful people, ready to fight. In fact, many of them have been suggesting to us, sir, why not indefinite strike? Why only 2 days strike? You see, but in a country, in a democratic country, we have to step up our agitation in a phased manner. Overnight, we can't jump. The child joins LKG, then UKG, then first standard, then matriculation, then graduation, then post-graduation. So we are not afraid. We are given indefinite strike. We are given in 1954. We are given in 1979. We are given in 1990. We are given in 2000. We are given 2009. Now also the United Forum is very, very clear. Recently, 3 days back, we had the Central Committee meeting of the All India Bank Employees Association. The Central Committee has unanimously adopted a resolution that we must step up our agitation and very shortly we must go for indefinite action strike call to oppose this bank privatization. But we need to prepare. We need to politically sensitize the public. We need to focus the issue in the parliament. And then we will go. Longer strike. 2 days strike is only a beginning. After that, more strikes will come, including indefinite strike. But for that, social media is important. I find a lot of people on the social media are suggesting you do this, sir, you do this, sir. That is only 50% of our activity. The real fight has to be in the